Hi everyone, welcome to Griglish Outdoors. Today we are looking at a new tent, the NatureHike Cloud Up 2 Pro. So stick around. So I've been a fan of NatureHike gear for quite a while. I do have the NatureHike Cloud Up 1, which has been a great tent for me over the past couple of years. The only complaint I have is it's not quite big enough for me. So the Cloud Up 2 does make sense. And then I saw there was a new Pro version, which I'd never seen before. I think this is fairly new onto the market. I've not seen anyone else use this yet. So I thought I'd grab it and test it out, because not only is it going to be bigger, there are a few differences which make it better than the original Cloud Up 2. Anyway, first up, let's look at what you get in the bag. Now the first thing that comes with this tent is the mat or ground sheet. This is very useful as it protects your tent from any twigs or sharp rocks on the floor, and hopefully it'll make your tent last a little bit longer. Next, in the main bag of the tent, there's the tent itself. There is a strap, and then here we have a pack which contains your tent stakes. Normally the tent stakes in NatureHike tents are red. These are a nice silver colour. In this bag you get 14 tent stakes and 2 guy lines. Next is the bag which contain your tent poles. Now it is actually a single tent pole which breaks off into a fork at the front and the rear of the tent. They are made from aluminium and therefore a little bit more durable than the fiberglass poles that you often get with tents. And then finally you get your inner and outer flies. So as you see there, the sack says Cloud Up 2 Pro. Inside the bag there is some information about the tent and also some instructions on how to put it up. So that's everything that comes with this tent. Let's go put it up. So there's the tent fully up. I made a mistake actually, there are not 2 guy lines, there are actually 5 in there. 1 for each side, 2 for the front and 1 for the back. I'm only putting the side ones on today to pull out the sides of the tent a little bit, and I think it looks very nice. Just like the Cloud Up 2. I even like the colour. It's almost like a goldy, bronzy sort of colour. Very straightforward to put up. As you saw when I was actually putting it up, everything is colour coordinated. So the purple loops on the actual inner and the mat correspond with the purple ends of the pole, and at the back the colour is black, again so you know which way round you are. It does have a small vent at the back to aid in airflow. However, due to the fact that the fly does go quite low to the ground, I'm unsure about the actual total airflow you will get in this tent. Before we go inside, let's have a few facts and figures. It is listed as a 2-person tent. The total area is 2.73 square meters. The inner foyer area or porch is 0.72 square meters. The dimensions of the outer tent are 270 centimeters by 160 by 110 centimeters. The inner tent is 210 by 130 by 105 centimeters. The minimum weight, not including the accessories, is 1.36 kilograms. The packed weight, excluding the mat, is approximately 1.53 kilograms. And when it is stored, the dimensions are 13 by 40 centimeters. The materials of the tent are listed as such. The outer tent fabric is a 20D nylon, 3/4 double wire grid, single silicone with a waterproof index of 2000 millimeters plus. The inner tent is composed of B3 mosquito mesh. The integrated ground sheet is a 210T polyester quarter compartment waterproof material with a PU rating of 5000 millimeters plus. The tent pole material is listed as Yuxon, one piece made of aluminium. The ground pegs are 15 centimeters and 7075 aluminium. Guy lines are high strength reflective nylon. This Pro version comes in two colours, in Moonstone Sand, which is the version I got, and also light grey red. The Pro version is listed as a lightweight tent, and when you compare it to the original Cloud Up 2 in the 20D version, which weighs about 1.8 kilograms, that means there's about a 300 gram difference. There are a couple other differences between this and the original Cloud Up 2. One of those differences is the door itself at the front, which actually is higher, and that should make getting in and out of the tent a little bit easier, because I found on the original Cloud Up 1, which I have, it was a bit of a tight squeeze. The other difference I can see so far is the fact that the waterproof rating is slightly reduced, with the original PU rating of between 3 and 4,000, and this one is 2,000 plus. On an average rainstorm, you won't really notice any difference in that, but it is something to be wary of, especially if you plan on camping in more extreme conditions. As you see, there's a storm flap here, which goes way over the zip to protect it from any rain. Due to the door going right up to the top on this version, you do lose that ventilation flap at the front. However, you still can get a little bit of ventilation a different way. There is a zip all the way at the top, whereas if you can pull that down a little bit, then use this stick with the Velcro attached, and there you have a little bit of ventilation in there, and you are still protected with that storm flap. Anyway, let's take a look inside. One thing you have to do before you open the door and roll the door back is to close that top part of the door there and put that little rod down, otherwise you won't be able to roll the door back properly. And you see the entrance is very, very high, which is really, really good for getting in and out of. As you can see, quite a bit of the tent is actual material and not mesh, and therefore I think it potentially could get hot in here in summertime. Anyway, let's open this tent up. And there we have it. Inside there is a hook for your lantern, and on the corners at the front there are pockets on both sides. So it's a boiling hot day today here in Greece, probably about 33-34 degrees, and I have put this tent in the direct sunlight, which means it's going to be even hotter. So it's hot in here, but that would be the case with any tent, to be honest. One good thing I can say about this tent is that I'm 6'2", and I can sit up. Yes, as you get closer to the top, the inner does start to touch your head, but it is mesh, and the distance between the mesh on the inner and the outer is quite big, so you're not really going to push the netting against the outer fly and therefore get condensation in. Right, my feet are at the entrance, so if I lay down, as you see there's a gap at the top of about 4, maybe 5 fingers, so comfortable enough for me. Is this a 2-person tent? Well, technically yes, you could get 2 people in here, but it wouldn't be comfortable. For me, it is a 1-person tent with gear in here, and then you'd be quite comfortable. I'm not sure whether you'd get two decent sized mats in here and be comfortable. You'd both be pressing up against the side of the tent. So yeah, for me it's definitely a one-person tent, but for me that's perfect. I wanted something like the Cloud Up one, but with a little bit extra space, and this tent gives me that. A little bit like the Cloud Wing 2, which I reviewed a few months ago. But it feels good, and I'm looking forward to have a night inside this. So I've just put my mat in now, and as you can see, yes, technically you could get another mat in there, but it would be snug. And personally, I prefer to have this tent to myself and be able to have my bed and have room for my gear. One thing I always criticised the original Cloud Up 1 and 2 for was the fact that they were so difficult to get out of. You either had to crawl out on all fours or be a contortionist and bend yourself in half. Well, we're going to try this one out now and see how easy it is to get out of. Well, you still have to bend down for the zip, but it is at a much better angle. And I didn't scrape my head on the entrance. That extra little bit of height of the door really is a game changer in getting out of these tents. So as I'm filming this, it is summer here in Greece, and therefore it's very unlikely we're going to get any rain to test its waterproof ability. However, I have many different NatureHike tents, and they all have performed fairly well in light and moderate showers. So I'm not too worried about the waterproof ability of this tent, and to be honest, with me being here in Greece, it's very unlikely I'm going to be camping in the rain. I do check the weather forecasts very regularly, so if I do see some rain coming up in the future, I will take this tent out and then I'll do another little video on the waterproof ability of it. When that does happen, I will put a link to the new video in the comment section below. But for me, I think it's a very nice looking tent, and I love that sand colour. Now the NatureHike Cloud Up 2 Pro on the NatureHike website is going for about $230 as of the day of this filming. But I got it from NatureHike for 124 euros, which for this Pro version, with the good quality materials it uses and the fact that it's lightweight and does have a nice design, yeah, I think it's worth the money. Now how easy is it to pack away? As long as you're logical in folding it back up again, it's not that hard to get back in the stuff sack again. Yes, it'd always be nice to have a little bit more room, but then the weight of the whole tent would go up. So I do understand why they don't make them a little bit bigger. Anyway, I'd pass that. So that's the first look at the NatureHike Cloud Up 2 Pro. I will be testing this out over the summer and autumn, so do look out for a test video later on this year. Let me know what you thought of this tent. Would you buy this over the original Cloud Up 2? Have you got a different tent which you prefer to the NatureHike Cloud Up range? Let me know in the comment section below. But for now, thanks for watching, take care, much love, see you next time.